All right, we are live for another local spotlight here on the Arrow Title Services page. And today's guest, I'm really excited to introduce. It is Dr. Chad Neeld with Neeld Chiropractic or Neeld Family Chiropractic in St Lucie West, right here along the Treasure Coast. I have been going to Dr. Chad for quite a bit, and he is just a phenomenal chiropractor here in our local area. He does so much in our community, and I am so thankful to have him on here to share with you guys just all that he does and how he differs from other chiropractors along here along the Treasure Coast and what he does for our community. So thank you so much, Dr. Chad, for being here today with me.
Thanks for having me, Lucy. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody out there.
Awesome. Well, hey, before we kind of get into the nitty gritty about the chiropractic and what you guys do at your office, I'd love for you to share with people kind of just how did you get started in chiropractic? Like how did that vision become your reality?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my backstory, the way that I got really introduced to chiropractic is at 17 years old, I was riding my mountain bike and I got hit by a car. And long story short, started treating with the chiropractor the next day due to pain and discomfort I was having as a result of the accident. And after taking some x-rays, I actually found out and was told that my neck was actually going the wrong way. So, on the side view of your neck, you're supposed to have a curve. My neck was reversed at that time. And so I started the corrective process of fixing that curvature, and all the secondary symptoms that I used to get even before I had that accident, the neck pain, the headaches I was getting regularly, that all resolved. It started to go away pretty quickly. And I was able to correct my neck because I caught it at an early age. And that really just kind of opened my eyes up and said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. If it helped me, I can help others. So that kind of set the wheels in motion, so to speak. So yeah, it was a life-changing event. Yeah.
Yeah, it started with a not so good event,
That's
but
right.
really cool that you got interested into it just because of that accident. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's probably an unconventional way to start a practice, right?
Yeah, it's probably a little different than most, but I mean, I find that a lot of chiropractors have that same some sort of experience, whether, it was a trauma like an accident, or if it was just, they were getting some sort of discomfort or pain on a regular basis, or they were an athlete, and then they had a good experience with a chiropractor and ultimately kind of influenced them to be a chiropractor. So yeah, the chiropractor that I treated with is actually still in practice in Apopka, Florida, a great guy. So I remember when I went to chiropractic school, I wrote him a letter and thanked him for his encouragement and all that. It was pretty neat. So,
oh, that's awesome. Hey, you never know what those life experiences are going to throw you into and end up being your career. So here you
very
are.
True.
And I love that.
I love to talk too, I know what it's like to be the injured patient. I've helped numerous people in situations like that. I still get adjusted on a regular basis to this day. I truly believe in the benefits of that. And I've seen it happen not only in my life, but, thousands of patients' lives over the 13 years I've been in practice. And so, I mean, my children get adjusted regularly just for maintenance care. I adjust people in my family. So it's not just, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So I walk the talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's super important too. And so you're actually somewhat newer here to the Treasure Coast. I mean, I guess somewhat. COVID's taken up a big portion, I think, of since you've been open. You opened in August 2019, right? Here in St. Lucie West?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep,
So
August 2019.
that's exciting. And so how long have you actually been in the business for?
So I've been in practice for 13 years.
Wow.
I was working with family down in Jupiter in their practice. I was an associate doc with them for about 11 years. And honestly, just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I feel like I need to do my own thing. So I started looking around, like, where do I want to be? I live right here in Palm City, so I'm just down the road from St Lucie West. And I decided, you know what, that's an up and coming area. And I used to do some coverage work for a chiropractor up in Fort Pierce, on occasion. And honestly, I really kind of took to the people up here in the community. Just friendly, giving, warm people, more like the people that I surround, that I consider myself. So when I was considering where I wanted to open up, I was like, St. Lucie West sounds great. And it was a great choice. And I've been very blessed by the community up here. I've had so many people throughout the community, patients and other business owners that have just helped me along the way. And we're just ultimately, a huge part of our success without question. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're super
absolutely.
grateful.
I remember that first ribbon cutting that you had there, and
Yeah,
that's actually how I found out about your location. And just like, definitely have seen a lot of business owners go through there, and just like seeing you grow over the past year and a half now has just been crazy. But you're so involved in the community, and the feeling that you get at your office is just super welcoming and warm. It's definitely that family atmosphere, and I think that that's a really important thing to have with a chiropractic office specifically. And I mean, you guys, you called it family chiropractic, so why don't we go into a little bit of like what you do at your office, like what makes you a little bit different than some other chiropractors, like what do you
sure.
guys specialize in? Yeah.
Yeah. So in our practice, we focus on structural correction. So what that means is not just treating the pain. Obviously, when somebody comes into our office, probably 80% of the time it's because they're having some aches or pains, or they're in discomfort or having headaches or something like that, or they've been in an accident. So obviously our goal is to initially help those people start to feel better right away, as quickly as possible. But sometimes there's underlying structural problems that are causing some of those aches and pains on a regular basis that we want to actually correct. And a lot of times that requires repetition and time and consistency. So we do want it to feel very welcoming and very friendly and clean and family oriented, because a lot of times, I may need to see people with some consistency in the beginning, and then we obviously move into more of a maintenance care. But what we focus on is neurologically based corrective chiropractic care for the whole family. I see tons of families in the community. Sometimes people come in, maybe let's use an example here. The mom comes in because she's having back pain or headaches or something. And when we start doing our educational process, that's a huge thing that we like to do in our office, is teach people how your body works, what it is that we're going to be doing on that visit and what we're looking for, and empowering people with that knowledge. Because really knowledge is with knowledge comes power and responsibility, right? And a lot of times you can literally see it in somebody's face. The light bulb goes off when they start learning about their nervous system and how their body is working, and that you want your spine in a proper position, because your spine is really there to protect the nervous system, which is your brain, your spinal cord, and your spinal nerves, And so when that light bulb goes off, they go, oh my gosh, my husband needs to come here. I should probably bring my children here. And then it kind of, becomes like a family event. So, and we're huge proponents of that. I'd much rather see people at a younger age, like myself, when I treated with the first chiropractor. I'd much rather see people at a younger age and help them prevent having degeneration, arthritis, all kinds of major issues as they get older, than I would rather just treat their symptoms once they're already, having major issues. It's always easier. I have a saying, it's like, it's always easier to change the oil in the car. It always, preventative maintenance is, you don't want to wait until the engine blows up, right? You want to change the oil and be preventative and proactive, just like brushing and flossing your teeth on a regular basis, getting checkups. If you do that regularly, you get to prevent having all those cavities and decay in there. Same thing in your spine. You got to take care of your spine. You only get one, and you need to take care of it throughout your lifetime. Doesn't mean you need to be in my office 3 times a week, but you should definitely have checkups on a regular basis, keeping your spine and nervous system healthy, in addition to everything else that you should be doing: eating well, drinking plenty of water, de-stressing, exercising, all of that. It's all part of being healthy and being well. So one of the things
Absolutely.
that sets us apart,
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that a lot of times people think too, like, okay, if you're younger, like you shouldn't be going to the chiropractor or whatever it might be. Like, I think I hear a lot of times, like if I'm talking to someone, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on my way to my chiropractic appointment at your office. And they're
Yeah.
like, why are you going to the chiropractor? What's wrong? And I'm like, nothing's necessarily wrong right now. Like, well, actually, my neck, it was from like one accident that I was in, and it was a very small accident. And it wasn't like going fast at all, but then my neck, as you know, is like not, it's what, invert, no, like it's like
Reverse.
straight, it's
Yes.
straight.
Lost some of the
So I have
curve
like a
there.
straight neck, and like, so
Mm-hmm.
like trying to correct that over time and everything like that, so that there's less pressure, because I've always had like a lot of stress and pain in my shoulders and everything like that. Oh, me just thinking it was stress, which I do carry my stress there as well, but that doesn't help all of it. So it's just like crazy that some people like they think, oh well, you only go to the chiropractor if like you're in a car accident, right? Like I'm sure that that's what you get a lot of your clients from, is that they come in because of a car accident or something like that. But the maintenance and repetitive, just having that, I know that I can feel it when I don't come in there for like 2 weeks, and I'm just like, I need to go to the chiropractor. So I mean, that has to say something for it, and I think that people just are very easily able to discount that. I think,
Yeah, very much so. I was literally just texting with my chiropractor before we jumped on here live saying, hey, I'm lucky he lives about 6 houses away. So he's going to come by later and give me my adjustment because, yeah, I'm adjusting a lot of people every week. I have to still get adjusted. And, there's like that old saying out there. Some people believe, once you start going to a chiropractor, you have to go for the rest of your life or you get addicted or whatever. And it's not necessarily true. I mean, in our office, there's definitely a start and an end to care. But we usually always recommend some form of maintenance care for people, whether that's depending upon your lifestyle. That could be anywhere from once a week to once a month to once a quarter. It really depends on what you do and how your spine is and all that. It's very, tailored to everybody and what they need. So it's kind of like saying, oh, well, I brushed my teeth once. I don't ever have to brush my teeth again, or once you start brushing your teeth, you're going to have to brush them for the rest of your life. Yeah, you should definitely take care of your spine and nervous system on a consistent basis, So yeah. I use a lot of dental analogies, and I just think that, in all honesty, I think the American Dental Association and dentists have done a much better job at educating the general public on, on what they do in prevention and being proactive, whereas maybe we haven't, and we've dropped the ball a little bit more as a whole, as chiropractors, but there's a bunch of us out there that are trying to get the message out. So getting out there in the community and really becoming an integrated part of the community to educate people and teach them, so it's definitely our mission to, it's not rocket science. I mean, your brain controls everything in your body, and it communicates to the rest of your body, down your spinal cord, over your nerves, goes to, tells your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, and your food to digest. And every single function of your body is controlled by that nervous system. So you want that functioning optimally. You want that working properly, and no interference in there. So, and that's what we focus on, is correcting those misalignments to allow that body to optimally function, so you can reach your God-given potential. Good stuff.
I love that. Yeah, it is good stuff. And, I love that you brought up like communicating with the community and just being involved in the community as much as possible. I know that before COVID, you were doing quite a bit in the community with educational talks and luncheons and everything like that, to make sure that people understood really like what was important. So maybe like I know you were doing that before, and like, do you plan on doing that in the future? Like, how is that looking? Like, is that something that's looking like it's coming back in the near future?
Yeah, I certainly hope so, because I mean, I love speaking. I love getting out in front of crowds. Prior to COVID, when we were first, before everything kind of shut down in March 2020, from that August to February timeframe, and we were out in the community 2 to 3 times a week on a regular basis, going into, small offices. I would talk to anywhere from, 5 people up to 50 to 75 people. We'd come in, we'd feed the whole office, give a nice healthy lunch and do a health talk on what we do in our office and why it's important, how your body works, how the spine works. Because honestly, a lot of people don't know that, and you're not going to get that from your medical doctor, or you're not getting it in health class in school. You're not getting that education anywhere else. And so as the, spine professionals, I feel like we should be the ones to take the reins on that and kind of take the charge, if you were, take the lead, if you were, get that information out there. You don't want to wait until your spine is in such a bad position that you're talking to the surgeon. There's a time and a place for that, but I'm definitely wanting to get out in front of people again, just to get out there. I'm a people person. I like to talk, as you can see. So I like to talk to people. I like to meet people. I want them to know who we are, where we are, what we do. And then I like to hear about what they do too. So I made so many great connections in the community doing that. I really hope that comes back. It just kind of all sort of went downhill when COVID hit, everything shut down. And I'm not so sure that everybody's ready to have, outside groups coming into their offices just yet, but we'll definitely get back to that. It's on our goal sheet for 2021. So I can't wait. looking to
Awesome.
do
I
that.
love that. And I think, it means a lot that you like want to be out in the community and that you are like so personable. And that's what makes your office what it is, like, which I love. So, and I know that every other person that has gone through there feels the same. I know so many people that go to your office and just absolutely love you and your energy, and your family's there. Like you have a family business. It's not just you, it's your wife there, and just, it's
Mm-hmm.
been great. I know the girls will probably end up being there at some point, maybe in the
Yeah,
future.
they probably will. They probably will.
I love
Well,
that.
the point is, here's another takeaway, if you will, is if you actually look at what the word doctor or physician actually means from Latin, it means teacher. So I take that literally, and I want to get out and I want to teach people, because I remember that moment when I was 17 years old and I was sitting in that chiropractor's office, and boom, that light bulb moment happened for me. And I was like, oh my God. And my whole reality was kind of shifted, and my whole thought process kind of shifted. And I was basically just a little more educated, right? He taught me
Yeah.
something I didn't know, and it opened up a whole new realm. And now ultimately it's my life, it's what I do. So I have to carry that torch and teach other people that same message that was taught to me, given so freely to me, that changed my life for the better. I'm carrying that torch, so
Yeah.
it's important.
I love that. That's so awesome. So, let's talk about maybe some signs. Like, what are some signs that people should, consult with a chiropractor? What are those major signs? I know, obviously, if you get in a car accident, you should go. Like, isn't there like a rule or like a law, like that maybe with the insurance or something like that? Like, you have to go within like 12 hours or 24 hours or something like that. Isn't that?
Well, so yeah, the laws did change. I want to say 5, 6 years ago.
Mhm.
There used to not really be like a statute of limitations, but now you have to be seen. So if you're involved in a motor vehicle accident, you have to be seen by a medical professional, whether that's an MD, a chiropractor, a hospital urgent care, nurse practitioner. You have to be seen within 14 days. Otherwise, you will have zero claim. They will totally deny your claims. So yeah, you should definitely, even if it's a small minor accident, there's some research out there that shows in a whiplash type injury where you're hit from the rear, which is a lot of accidents that I see nowadays, as little as 8 miles an hour. 8 miles an hour can cause significant ligament damage. So it doesn't have to be these huge, high speed, massive traumas. A small little fender bender with not a lot of property damage can actually create some issues in your spine. So you should definitely get checked within that 14-day period, just to preserve your rights. So if you do continue to have pain or discomfort, you'll have the ability to treat and get those injuries, back to as good as you possibly can. So that being said, I mean, obviously an accident like that is a big one, or a slip and fall, where there's a major trauma. But the reality is, the more common things that I see in my office is what we call like trauma at 0 miles per hour, right? It's the repetitive stress injuries, sitting on the computer all day, right? Most people are working on computers, sitting in their chairs. And the tendency, I don't know if you can see me from the side, but the tendency is the head to kind of do one of these, right? As they're typing, as they're looking at the screen, and they get that forward head posture. And just sitting alone in a chair, your body's not designed to sit all day. Sitting puts 40% more pressure on your lower back discs than standing up or lying down. So if you're, working in front of a computer, you definitely want to get up out of that chair. You want to stretch regularly. You should probably get your spine checked, maybe have an x-ray or something taken to get some further evaluation. But obviously, neck pain, headaches, back pain, sciatica, tingling, numbness into the hands and fingers, even other issues, as far as like with children with asthma or colicky babies, we can help with that kind of stuff. Chronic recurring ear infections in kids, we've helped with that before in the past. A lot of times it's a very simple misalignment to that first bone in the neck that's blocking eustachian tube and preventing proper drainage, and a very gentle, specific adjustment to that area can actually open all that up, allow that to, start to heal up, as opposed to the medical approach, which is typically multiple rounds of antibiotics. And if that continues to reoccur, then it becomes the tubotomies. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm a big fan of getting to the cause. And if it is caused from a blockage, and you remove that blockage, remove that interference, allow that body to start to function better, it's an easier fix, and a better fix, a safer fix.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, any kind of pain, aches, discomfort, traumas, those are all great reasons to come see a chiropractor. But even just preventative maintenance, if you've never seen a chiropractor, if you've never If you said, well, I don't know if it's for me, I mean, feel free to come into our office, have a consultation with me. They're totally complimentary. We'd be more than happy to give you a tour around our office, show you how our office works, show you some of the technology that we use. That's another thing that kind of sets us apart in our office is the technology that we use. We use thermography to run up the spine from the lower back all the way to the base of the neck, which gives us like a computerized readout, can show us any areas of hot spots. We have digital x-ray on site when necessary. We'll take x-rays, kind of like, again, another dental analogy, but kind of like when you go to your dentist, you have a checkup, they're going to do these, full mouth x-rays and bite wings on occasion so they can see things that are going on in there, because on x-ray, it's a diagnostic tool. You can see things a lot of times before there's actually discomfort or pain, right? So finding things early detection is always best in any type of healthcare, whether you're talking about, heart disease or cancer or any kind of thing, early detection is always best. So if you can figure out how your spine is looking, and I'll be very honest with you, it's not too hard to understand. Your spine should be straight from the front. You should have 3 curves from the side. We know what those normal curves should be. And if your spine looks like that, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. If it doesn't look like that, if it's doing something different than that, like mine was, you might need some intervention there. You might need a little bit of adjustment here and there, something like that. So, but yeah, we always do complimentary consultations, and, be more than happy to answer any questions for anybody.
I love that. Yeah, no, I think the complimentary consultation is always a great start for people. And that thing that you do with the down the back, whatever that is.
Yeah, thermography.
Thermography. So that's really cool.
Very cool. It's a thermal scan, basically. It picks up heat. So what we know from science and research is when your spine misaligns, it creates a little bit of a inflammation or a little bit of a heat temperature differential. And that's what that machine can pick up. It's been used, a handheld analog one has been used for 100 years now. But this one's all digital, computerized, very sensitive and calibrated to pick up any small misalignments that can indicate areas of dysfunction in the spine there. And so we do that not only on the initial visit, but also at subsequent intervals in the future, so we can monitor functional progress and continue to monitor and track healing in our office, in addition to other technology. So we like to leverage technology to our advantage, so we can see, how people are improving. I don't want you just to, it's always great when somebody feels better, but feeling good and functioning good aren't always 100% the same, right? You can feel really good. For instance, if I go eat some bad sushi for lunch today, a healthy response in my body is what? To get rid of it, right? Yeah. I'm going to feel really bad during that process, but that's actually a healthy response. So, we all want to feel good, but at the same time, you want to be functioning well. When we're talking about being truly healthy, function is key. So we want to get you feeling good quickly, but we also want you functioning well. And so we use technology to help monitor that as well.
Yeah, no, and I love that. I love that you do the side-by-side comparison of it. I think that that's very helpful for understanding where your body's at and how it's improving and what you need to work on even moving forward, whatever that might be. So it's really cool to see those side-by-sides. And I've enjoyed having that a part of my care as well. So I think that definitely sets you apart a little bit from some of the other offices, just like the technology side of what you guys do in your office and how that impacts the visit and the understanding too, because it's like when you see these things, like, it's like you can talk about it all day long, what you're talking about, and then like relaying that information to other people for them to understand exactly what's going on in their body. Sometimes it's like you probably get it like in one ear and out the other. For some people, they're like, what? But those will really help for some people, like to be like, oh wow, there's my, I'm feeling stressed there. Yeah, I totally feel that. And then, it making sense to them being put out there digitally, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, some of the changes that we've seen, because it's really like, you'd have to see it. But I mean, on the thermal scan, you have your normal, and then you have like mild, moderate, severe. And I mean, I've seen some people that Lucy, that have come in that were like literally off the chart in the red, severe range. And I mean, literally after, 6-8 weeks of, treatments, a couple times a week, talking like 12 visits and huge differences. I mean, massive changes, which is just a better indication of a healthier functioning nervous system. So again, one of the tools that we utilize, in addition to others in the office that we utilize to just help people get better, that's what it's all about is helping people have less interference, less dysfunction, so they can reach their potential, and and as a side effect, you're going to feel well also. if you have proper structure, you're going to have proper function,
Hey, I love that. There's no bad, if it's a good side effect if you're feeling better, right?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. So why don't you tell people where you're located? Give people a better idea of where you're located in St. Lucie West so that they can find you.
Sure. So we are as close to I-95 and St. Lucie West Boulevard as you can get. So literally right off of I-95. We're in the Pediatric Associates building. If you know where Carrabba's is there, right off of I-95, right there off of Fountain View Boulevard. So it's as close as you can get to 95. Actually, out our back windows, I see the northbound exit to St. Lucie West Boulevard. So we get to see that, as we're overlooking that area there. But yeah, so it's back towards Carrabba's. It's the first 2-story building there as you turn on Fountain View Boulevard. It's 1850 Southwest Fountain View Boulevard, and we're in Suite 202.
Awesome.
Yep, right there. It's been a great location for us. It's very easy to access, and I have people that come. I've had patients that have come from Vero. I have patients that come from Palm City, and then all over Port St Lucie, Fort Pierce. So we have a pretty wide area because of our location that people can actually get there very efficiently and not get tied up in a ton of traffic. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And even, I know that they're coming from all over. I mean, I work in Stewart and I'm in Eastport, St. Lucie, and even taking Crosstown just up and, it's quite easy to get to. And just being off the highway definitely makes it easy for the whole Treasure Coast to be able to get to you. So I love that.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we love our location there.
It's a good location for sure. Is there a best way that people can reach you guys to set up that first consultation with you?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can either call us directly at our phone number, which is right there that Lucy just put up, 772-777-2246, or you can reach us on Facebook. I'm constantly monitoring that. People send me messages all the time from Facebook. Hey, I'd like to set up a free consultation, or they even ask me questions there that I'm always literally our response time is like a couple of minutes. So as long as, I see it, I respond to it right away. Or you can always email it or go to our website, which is Neeld Family Chiro at Gmail. That's our email, or our website, neeldfamilychiropractic.com. There's a place to contact us there as well as set up that complimentary consultation also.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Chad. That's awesome. You went over some amazing information today. I'm so thankful we were able to spotlight your business this week. We started this local spotlight just to help spotlight local businesses in our community that are making a difference and adding value to the local community that we live here on the Treasure Coast, doing great things, great energy, and we loved having you on today and just showcasing you. So,
well, thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate it. You do so much for our community as well. We're very appreciative of you. So thank you.
Of course. No, happy to be a part of it. And,
awesome.
We, again, starting the local spotlight, we did it because we're a local business too. So we're a local small business, owned by someone local here, Michelle Chart, who's been in the area majority of her life. So it's always great to talk with other local businesses that are here and just showcase them, which is, the little local spotlight of Friday. Great way to end the week. So happy to have you on here, Dr. Chad. Thank you so much for all the valuable information that you gave. If you guys are just tuning in now, make sure you guys rewatch this live local spotlight of Dr. Chad from Neeld Family Chiropractic, which is located right in St. Lucie West. You guys can get your complimentary complimentary assessment there to be able to find out what might work best for you. Not one chiropractic. What would you call it? There's not one for everybody. It's a specified assessment for all. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's tailored to what people actually need, right? Everybody has different needs. Everybody has different issues, so we can definitely tailor not only our recommendations or treatment, but the actual adjustment itself too. Everybody needs different techniques. There's a lot of different ways to adjust the spine. I can use anything from drop tables to instruments to my hands, which I prefer to use, but there's a lot of different ways, and I've adjusted infants that were, a month old, a few weeks old. I've adjusted 97, 98-year-old people. So, I mean, the whole gamut, so I can definitely help a lot of different age groups out there.
I love that. That's awesome. It's great to have someone like you along here in our Treasure Coast here. So thank you so much, Dr. Chad. I will see you soon. And I appreciate you being on here. And thank you to all who are watching. We at Arrow Title Services do host this local spotlight every week with a new local business along the Treasure Coast that's making a difference in our community and just a great piece of our community. COVID has been crazy for everyone, and we just want to help highlight some of those local businesses that are really making a difference in our community. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week and weekend, and we will see you guys next week. And ta-ta for now. Thank you so much, Dr. Chad.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, bye.